Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? Your luck's out. I thought we was really in the Black Country when the lights went out. I nearly tumbled over a dog up there. I ain't got it either. But I was down Gornal yesterday, and don't forget that tomorrow is Remembrance Sunday. And I told I lie down at Gornal, was it the 2-minute silence sounds better in colour. It's the truth, though. You'll never know what you're going to meet down Gornal. Working on several newspapers, you know, you meet all sorts of photographers, journalists, people dodging in for scoop stories and all this. And they've got a freelance blog going round for scoop pictures, you know, photographer. And he goes down Gornal, runs up entry, and he sees this dog planting taters on a bit of a garden, you know. Runs back to his car, gets his camera, runs round the back of the entry, knocks the door. Hommers it, nobody comes, goes next door, hommers it, kicks it. After about 10 minutes, old Bob comes over. He says, what do you shout at that? What do you dock it at? He says, I'm just having far with the sleep. He says, how should you like me to come up? He says, dock you up when you always having far. The bloke says, I'm off the pressure. He says, I don't care who you're off. He says, should you like me to come and dock you up when you're having far with the sleep? He says, I'm just having half an hour, are you? And he says, I want to take a photo of the dog. He says, I don't care a bugger what you want to do. He says, that dog don't belong to me. He says, I don't know what you want to take a photo of him for. Photographer says, dog planting taters. He says, it's got to be good. He says, it's not bloody good. He says, it's putting a bit upside down. Another bloke poked his head over the fence. This is what to expect of our Irish setter. It's the truth. I was with old mate of mine, Roddy Yates, the bookmaker up at Dudley, and old of the week. He told me he's born in a little house. He says the walls was that thin when his mother put his dinner in the oven. The bloke to the side used to put his arm through the wall and dip the gravy. It's great though, to meet all these sorts of folks, you know. You meet all sorts of different folks in the Black Country. I never know who I'm going to meet. But like when they brought the sex equality out, ladies and gentlemen, there was all sorts of thoughts on this. And I popped down to Darlaston. I said, old bloke, I thought he looks a likely lad. I says, what do you think about this new sex bill? He says, I suppose we've had to pay it, shall we? A stack of these dog stories. Okay, says Aloy. He's working there on a board. Got a bucket of whitewash, great big black board, and he starts, beware of. Nainuk's watching him. And he goes very careful. Alsatians. When he stands back, he says, kid, he says, I made a busting job of that, he says. Beware of Alsatians, he says. He says, you made a good job on it, he says, but you haven't got no Alsatians, have you? Nainuk says, no, but you've got to bloody watch him, have you? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me very great pleasure now to introduce to you a very great friend of mine. You've probably heard his songs. You've heard him on the off-the-cuff show on BBC television. He's a chap who was born down at Netherton. He writes his own material, and he's a grand performer in his own right. He also tells some very, very good Black Country stories. So put your hands together now. Nice warm welcome for Brian Clift. Thank you very much.
He usually plays a trick or two on me, so I come the opposite side, you see, just to fool him. Anyway, these Black Country nights are really great. Meet all sorts of people, you know, and in the old days they used to do these charity shows for raising a few quid, you know, when somebody had got killed down the pit or something, you know, or the chain works. And for the widow or something, they'd raise a few quid, and they used to call them benefit concerts. And as it happened 2 years ago, a friend of mine from Quarrybank, a bloke named Albert Shaw, he died, and we did exactly the same for him. We had a concert, all the Black Country folks turned up, did a bit of a show, and raised a few quid for his widow. Well, old Albert used to sing a song called The Benefit Concert, and I'd like to sing it for you now. And while it might seem it's a sad sort of occasion, this particular concert, it was sad for a different reason, I tell you, sort of a hilarious occasion. It goes like this anyway. Well, I've just come away from a benefit concert. It'd saved me much pain if I'd never a gone. It was held at the Manslaughter Arms around the corner. I'm the only one left out of 101. This concert was held on behalf of Nobby Taylor. He'd just lost his mother, his only support. And for your kind attention, I'll tell you the programme of this little concert, the best of its sort. Well, of course we brought the bills and tickets out upon the strap. We couldn't pay for the posters 'cause we hadn't got a scrap. The room that we had rented would out 50 at the most, but we got 1,000 tickets off to satisfy our host. 60 special constables was ordered on the scene. They kicked all my front teeth out. Oh, I wish I'd never have been. The air was blue with language. It quite took away me breath. And to give the crowd amusement, someone kicked a dog to death. The chairman, he should have arrived. 7:30 was the time, but he didn't turn up until the clock was striking 9. He said, "Forgive me, gentlemen, your patience must be worn, but I couldn't come before because me trousers was in pawn." And when the doors was opened, they all rushed to get inside, and the bloke as took the tickets, he got trampled and died. And them who couldn't get a sight, they squatted on the floor, and they ripped the paper off the walls to admit a dozen more. To do the fuss song of the night, one young fella rose. He sung the village blacksmith till a spark shot from his nose. He said, "I haven't got a voice, it went when I was 5, but I'll fight the best bloke present just to keep the game alive." A lady next got up to sing, "I'll be all smiles tonight." And the waiter started bawling, well, I thought there'd be a fight, 'cause one old collier down the back, he couldn't stom the strain. He hit her with his clog and oh, she never smiled again. To do the last song of the night, they called on Ginger Giles. To sing on this occasion, he had walked for 40 miles. He said, "Good evening, gentlemen, I'll try to please you all." And he busted off a-singing, "Let me like a soldier fall." The waiter hit him with his tray, and down poor Ginger fell. And to finish off the evening, all the crowd began to yell, "The more we are together," sing, "together, together, the more we are together, the merrier we shall be." Thank you very much. I'm just going to sing you one last song for this half anyway. I'm going to sing you the Cradleheath National Anthem. Anybody know it? No? Right, I'm going to teach it to you now. I want to hear you singing nice and loud now, right? Because you've got lovely words, I tell you, beautiful words. This is the chorus. "So take me back where the smoke rolls black, where the Delft prize ale flows free, where factory wenches line all the park benches, because Cradleheath means to me." They're lovely words, eh? Anyway, I better sing them, because there's 2 versions to the song. If you sing nice and loud, there might only be 4 verses, you see. If you ain't singing at all, I can make it into 17 if you like. Should you ever practice with the chorus, eh? It goes like this. "So take me back where the smoke rolls black, where the Delft prize ale flows free, where factory wenches line all the park benches. Cradleheath means home to me." Hope you do better than that, I tell you. There's only one singing, and that's me. Here we go. Lovely words about the place I used to love. "Well, pin back your ears and I'll sing you a song of a town that is dear to me heart, where they make chains and nails and they owe jumble sails, and everyone's mad about darts." Now sing. "So take me back where the smoke rolls black, where the Delft prize ale flows free, where factory wenches line all the park benches. Cradleheath means home to me." That's better. You got this last chance before I make my mind up which version to do, I tell you. "As you walk down each street, friendly blokes you will meet, their faces all full of good cheer, but their friendship you'll doubt when the boozers turn out, and you'll feel a big fist in your ear." Now sing. "So take me back where the smoke rolls black, where the Delft prize ale flows free, where factory wenches line all the park benches. Cradley Heath means home to me. All right then, I'll make my mind up now which verse to do. This is about the lovely pub we used to go drinking in, the Jolly Collier, smashing place. I'll tell you about it. Well, the gasworks each night is lit from the light, from the sign of the Collier Inn, where the old ladies sit and they stir up the mire as they ladylike sip their... Who's that? Because I'm not very good at rhyming words, I don't need to keep laughing here. I know, you thought I was going to say shit there. So take me back where the smoke rolls black, where the Delft prize ale flows free, where factory wenches line all the park benches. Cradley Heath means home to me. This last verse is about our speedway team. We've got a fine speedway team in Cradley Heath, I tell you. They got a lovely war cry which sort of follows the trades of the area. It's all hammers and nails down there, you know. I went to see them once this year, I tell you. They were riding against Wolverhampton of all teams. They did do very well, I tell you. I come off after I was fed up of seeing them lose. But Wolverhampton used to have a football team as well as a speedway. Remember them? Eh? You remember they used to have, they did, did they? I don't know what happened to them really, but I know they tried to go Oriental or something. They changed the backroom staff. They got rid of the chairman. They was going to have Chairman Mao, but he died before they could get him, you know. They had to make do with Sammy Chung, Chinese man. I said all sorts of gimmicks, just to get a bit of publicity, because they've never been very well supported, have they? You know, they got a Chinese manager now. First match of the season, they was playing away there, no goals, 10 minutes to go. Everybody's fed up and seeing no goals. And the bloke standing next to my mate says, "No wonder they call bloody score." He said, "I'm playing across the pitch instead of up and down." He said, Anyway, our speedway team. Well, Omeram, Cradley, you can hear the crowds roar Saturday nights at our fine speedway track. But there's many a young bird, at least who I've heard, been hummered like hell round the back, Jack. So take me back where the smoke rolls black, where the Delft prize ale flows free, where factory wenches line all the park benches. Cradley Heath means home to me. Well, that was the Cradley Heath song, and I shall see more of you in the second half, I hope. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great lad, Brian Clift. Of course, as I already mentioned, tomorrow being Remembrance Sunday, you'll always get at the ex-service clubs one or two of the old stages from the First World War. And down at Quarrybonk, there's two on them rattling to one another. I figured the one says to the other, he says, "Jack," he says, "you was in the First World War." He says, "Oh." He says, "How old am I?" He says, "Me 84." He says, "The 13th of December." He says, "How old am I?" "Oh, Joe," he says, "I should be 79. On January the 17th. He says, "Cast your mind back," he says, "when you was in France." He says, "Did they give you some tablets?" He says, "What made you take them?" He says, "They took your mind off the women." He says, "Oh." He says, "What's made you ask that?" He says, "'Cause I think they're beginning to act on me." Ladies and gentlemen, very seriously, I'm going to introduce you to a lady now who I sincerely believe is the funniest comedian that I personally have seen. I paid a tribute to her in this last book. Well, there ain't many women cracking jokes. They're well outnumbered with the blokes. But I know one who's made a name. Get talked about all the same. Dolly Allen can fill a place without doing anything with her face. He just stands still and tells a tale. What's made many spill their ale? "Hello, my lovers." They just bust off. And straight away, folks start to laugh. It really is a sight to see. In her old-fashioned clothes, you'll take it from me. Has got this feather in her hat, about as long as a cricket bat. And has got old handbag, it is a sight. What weird outfit looks just right. Dolly is famous with her stuff. especially since TV did off the cuff. Dolly makes folks laugh till they ache. Bar him on going to wake. You up near him from Bilson to Brierley Hill when he's on about Shanghai Hill, and they scream about the old-fashioned days when he goes on about the flies. And even if audience throw a fit, Dolly's face does shift a bit. I'm certain of a good night out. When he comes on stage, without a doubt, even when it takes a cating call, her face don't twitch a bit at all. You won't see another like Dolly, our kid. He's one of the best of them I've seen. Folks have laughed at her for many years, and her memories have prompted many tears. I don't know another like her, do you? Here's one on her own when it comes to the show. Thank you. What more can I say? Dolly Allen.
Hello, lovers. Well, now round about this time, round Christmas, then the works parties and the suppers and all that, when all the calories on till the new year. My mum on went to reason last Saturday night, and before he went out, I said, "What time do you think I'll be back?" He said, "About 12. I said, "All right, I'll wait up for you." He said, "Well, you want me to bring you back for a present?" I said, "Something for me neck." Oh, he bought me a tablet of soap. And he did come back at 12, come back at 3 o'clock in the morning. I heard him coming up the road, I heard him singing his signature tune. Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your memory stray to a bright summer's day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? I thought that's him. That's him, he always sings that signature tune. He's coming back home late. So I went up the road, and he got his arms round the lamp in the street. You can tell how far he'd gone. He was looking up at the light. He said, "Doc, come and open the door. I know you mean. I can see the light upstairs." I thought, look at him. 3 sheets to the wind and another one a-blowing. When I got up by him, I says, "Well, I'm ashamed on you." I catched out on him and walked him back up the road and he fell up the gutter. I says, "Look at you, you're paralytic." He says, "Dolly, I took a load off my mind. I thought I was lame." I got him in the house. I said, "I'll talk to you in the morning when you're sober." So when he got up the next morning, he washed him, had his breakfast, catched out the looking glass. He says, "Oh, hey, I got a black eye." I said, "Oh, no, you went." He said, "I must have had a good night out to come back with one of them." As you hadn't got one of them when you come back. I said, "We was you till 3 o'clock. Well, he said, "They dropped me off by the churchyard." And I thought, well, now this is a shortcut home. So I walked up the path. And I could see a bloke walking in front of me. And when I got up a bit further, they dug a grave out. And this bloke jumped in, thought of frightening me to death. When I got up by the grave, he says, I'm cold. I'm cold. So my man says, I picked the spade up off the ground and I started to shovel the dirt in. I said, this ever likely to be cold, they isn't covered up. I worried over him, you know, one thing and another. I couldn't sleep at night. So I went up to the doctor, see if he'd give me some tablets. Well, he did give me some. I'd got to take one while I was asleep. And the other just before I woke up. Well, I come out the surgery into the waiting room, and it was full. And who should be sitting up the corner? But I have Fanny and her daughter-in-law, Charmaine. Charmaine had got a big scarf round her mouth. I thought I'd just robbed a bank. I said, oh, Fanny, what you come for? So I come with her. Wants a blood transfusion. Charmaine says I could do with one and all. So I went to the dentist, only took one tooth out. I had gas, so I shouldn't feel it. When I come round, they took 4 out. I says, hey, I only wanted one. You only took 4. The dentist says, oh, well, you hadn't come round when we took one out and we can't waste the gas. Charmaine says, I told him. I said, been all the same if I'd had me eye out. I said, you ought to took the other one out, then I should have wore glasses. He said, I don't think they know what they are doing. The dentist, the doctors knew them in the hospital. As you look at our Harry, been on the box for months and months. Doctor said he got a hole in his heart, so they sent him for X-ray. When the X-ray come back, was a polo mint in his shirt pocket. Says there's my other brother. He had to go in the hospital to have a leg off, and they took the wrong one off. They took the one off as it got a good shoe on it. He says, I went to the hospital, he says, to see him. And I used to go to night classes as well as I had that time to go there. Fanny says, no, I says, Ronnie wanted another 2 O-levels for a lavatory attendant. Well, there was a woman sitting a bit lower down, and they never knocked off talking from the time I sat down. Charmaine says, Fanny caught her talk. Fanny says, a gas bro the headache. Charmaine says, no, what talks like? As you know him on the commercials, don't you? He must shove that stuff up his nose 'cause he can't breathe. He must says, oh, Bob, I can't take my exams like this. And his mother says, course you can. He says, oh, Bob. It's the talk just like him is what makes it talk like that, Fanny. Fanny says, "Course has wore her mouth out." Well, I waited for them to come out, the doctors. And we were walking down the road. And I says, "Oh, Fanny, they opened a new centre, look for battered brides." Fanny says, "They fry anything." He says, "I'm a flitting." "Oh, I say, yeah, I'm here, says, "Yes." "Oh, yeah, are you going to leave us?" "I'm here," says, "Yes." "I can't take it no longer," he says, "my nerves would let me." He said, "I opened a funeral parlour right opposite my place. And I got a big card in the window. And every time I draw my curtains on a morning, I looks at that. Why walk about in misery when you can be buried in comfort?" He says, "I told Joe." I said, "I wish I know the place where I'd got to die." Joe says, "Well, that wouldn't do you any good." And he says, "It would, because I shouldn't go." He says, "I've been and ordered 1,000 cockroaches, because it says in the rent book, leave the place as you found it." Well, folks, I got to wind up now. Cheerio.
Enoch, his missus wanted everything, won £60,000 on the coupon. Everything they said they wanted, keeping up with the Joneses, new coat, new hat, new shoes. They went on the ladies' day to Ascot, took her in the enclosure. Who should come by? Mrs. Shilling, famous American lady, one of them hat creations with ostrich feathers in, waving in the breeze, beautiful picture. He says, "Ah, Enoch, I should love one of them hats." He says, "You want in everything." He said, "I'll tell you what, Mary Ann, if you'll wear them ostrich feathers, where the ostrich wears them, I'll buy you one." He says, "Will you?" He says, "Oh." He says, "Where does ostrich wear the feathers out, Enoch?" He says, "Bloody South Africa." Very true, ladies and gentlemen, all these dog tales. This dog is running the butcher's run out with 7 foot of sausage in his mouth. Butcher run him with a knife. Old man says, "Don't cut it up for him, he'll eat it as it is." Well, there's some right uns in the butcher's shops. You'll listen to some. They have some raps. I've heard them as they've used the knives, cutting on to some of the wives like missus. Your husband's getting thinner. Take him this lot for his dinner. Bit of a wink and a bit more talk, and perhaps go out with your hand to pork. You get on them, touch the cap, flog them anything to fill the gap. Mind if they get a real big spender, special bit, nice and tender. Never fear he won't offend her, though he knows just where he'd like to send her. You watch his chest fill with pride when he flogs them salt, the silver side. Mind you, some of the old uns give him a shock before he's finished on the block. Hey, that mate's too much for me. I want a piece about 33. Some get the butcher all on heat. Well, what they buy is 2 pigs' feet. He'd love to tell him, but he can't risk it. To go and stop him up a brisket. He's got a job to please them all with lamb and sausage, chops and chawls, stewing bits, bacon, sirloin and shin. Please them all. Bloke can't win. He's only got to sell one bit tough. They say, "That's it. I've had enough. I'm buying nothing else from there. His mate's no good." And he's still there. Thank you. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, as Shirley Bassey says, "I have nothing"? Sitting in the ladies' hairdressing establishments, watching the ladies have their hair done. And gentlemen, if you think you're more done to when you're going to your hair cut, spend a little half an hour in a ladies' hairdressing establishment and see what they go through. They should either be in the New Year's honours list of the VC or some tablet put up with all the names. And what they go through, it's nobody's business. I hate coddy. And when the women have their hair done, they do look nice. It perhaps makes the blokes look at them twice. But you'll mind if how they get the pay, they had to go through it. It ain't a bad game. So we'll have a look, that's what we'll do. What comes after? The wash and shampoo, well, they paint in dye, then they get to rins, then they stick it in rollers as well as pins. And it's a wonder half of them I killed Jed the way they're poking them in the head. And next I stick on there's the net, but there's more they got to have yet, don't fret. 2 earmuffs what goes on them next. On a foul they feel fed up and vexed, perhaps a cup of tea their dress will power. Cuss them under the dryer for half an hour. And it's 2 to 1, there's quite a lot who say it's just that bit too hot, then when it's right, some dries it off. On the Megrams they pull them quite a lot, but they're wakening quickly out of that. When it rustles the pins and the rollers out, their dresser seems to have a rush of blood. When it brushes and back comes, they're up good. I suppose in a comic way it's like Ken Dodd. That's the way they sticks up in there, it's odd. Then some have it round their ear hole stuck, or the pile-up fashion, or the dolly look. And for anybody who's going grey, they have it tinted, that's the key. They got all sorts of stuff in the hairdresser's place, such as lacquer what they spray on their neck and face. And if anybody wants to cut the big, well, I supply a boss to be. When they finished our kid, y'all guess what they send? I'll get a fortnight. I'll come back again. Thank you. Well, you're very kind. You're a great lot. So it gives me no greater pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, this time, really on the programme, a very great personal friend of mine and a very great performer, and I really mean that, Jon Raven, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
He's much better looking than I am, really, you know. I'm going to start with a very easy song to sing. It's called The Pirate's Serenade, in fact, and the pirate in question was a very unbelievable character in some ways, because he wasn't the sort of average Long John Silver type pirate who was inclined towards rape rather than romance. He was in fact a very home-loving, peaceable, generous, contented, open-hearted young man who courted ladies and married them, because he wants to marry this girl in this song, and this song is all about how he offers his hand in marriage, how he will take her to the sea and they'll settle down and live happily ever after on a little desert island and so forth. And it appeared on a broadside in the Black Country around about the 1850s or 60s and became a very popular romantic ballad by the end of the 19th century. So it sort of has a tradition of being performed in the area, even though what it says is not quite up to the usual pirate standard. The chorus goes, "Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee. This night or never, my bride thou shalt be." So you can sing that with gusto, okay? We'll stop and try it when we get to it. My boat's by the tower, my bark's in the bay. Both must be gone ere the dawn of the day. The moon's in her shroud, but to guide me afar on the deck of the Darren's, a love-lighted star. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee. This night or never, my bride thou shalt be. And that's the tune that goes with the chorus. Do you want to try it? No, they all shout it at once. Have a go. Wake, lady, wake, I'm waiting for thee. This night or never, my bride thou shalt be. Lovely song. Oh, wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee. This night or never, my bride thou shalt be. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee. This night or never, my bride thou shalt be. Forgive my rough mood, unaccustomed to soothe. I woo not perchance as your landlubbers woo. My voice has been tuned to the notes of the gun that startles the deep when the battle's begun. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee. This night or never, my bride thou shalt be. am waiting for thee, this night or never, my bride thou shalt be. O islands that are in the face of the deep, where the leaves never fall and the skies never weep, and there, if thou wilt, shall our love bower be, as we leave for the green woods, our home on the seas. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee, this night or never, my bride thou shalt be. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee, this night or never, my bride thou shalt be. So it's haste, lady, haste, for the fair breezes blow, my ocean bird poises her pinions of snow. Now fast to the lattice these silken ropes twine, they are meet for such fingers and such feet as thine. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee, this night or never, my bride thou shalt be. Wake, lady, wake, I am waiting for thee, this night or never, my bride thou shalt be. You can have a brief rest in the singing now while I do a very short song that has no chorus to it. In fact, it has only one very short verse, and the fragment was obtained by a lady friend of mine, Miss Rhoda Daughtry from Penderford in Tettenhall, who got it from her grandfather, who used to own keep the Ring of Bells blacksmith shop in West Bromwich, or the blacksmith shop near the Ring of Bells in West Bromwich. And he heard the girls who were working in the shop singing it, and she learned it eventually from her father, who got it from his, and so forth. And it's a very short fragment. If you know any more of it, rush up when I come off and tell me what the rest of it is. There is a sort of full-length Cockney version of the song, but we want to find the other words that belong to the Black Country version. It's called Come All Yow Blades, What's Marry Ed. Very strange little piece. Come all your blades, what's marry Ed, and yow should hear a tale of what'n befell. Poor Jimmy White, he died last night, he'd never died a forward, for he did hate some ships near the brow, and he did fall stiff stock stone dead under the table out. Right to-la-roo-la-roo, right to-la-roo. For those unacquainted with ship's head broth, it is, of course, sheep's head broth, which is a very old, traditional Black Country dish. There's a character who keeps on cropping up time and time again in Black Country, two characters really, in Black Country history and folklore and story and song, Enoch and Eli. And one of their most recent exploits has been to attempt, on behalf of the government, to find a cheap way of digging the Channel Tunnel. And Enoch approached the Prime Minister with the suggestion that he, with Eli, dug the Channel Tunnel for them. And the song, in fact, is written by an old friend of mine who used to come to a folk club that I used to run a long time ago. And he describes in the first verse how Enoch puts the pig on the wall to watch the band going by, which is a slight upon Gornal people, generally speaking, because the villages round about said that they were so stupid that they put pigs on the wall to watch the band going by, you know. And so that's why the first verse contains that particular reference. You've heard of Enoch and his famous pig, and of the funny things he did. Well, he took that pig from out of the sty and put him on the wall to watch the band go by. Well, them who's heard on it all oft, but old Enoch bass a soft. Yes, them who's heard on it all oft, but old Enoch bass a soft. And that's the chorus. You want to try it through? For those who come from Penn, it's those who've heard of it all laughed, but old Enoch isn't so soft, right? For the rest of you, it's them who's heard it all loft, but old Enoch bass is soft, right? Try it. Them who's heard on it all loft, but old Enoch bass is soft. Them who's heard on it all loft, but old Enoch bass is soft. Now a clever kid was our Enoch, and at engineering he tried his luck. The government thought he was giving him the flannel when he said he'd dig a tunnel under the channel. Them who's heard on it all loft, but old Enoch bass a soft. Yes, them who's heard on it all loft, but old Enoch bass a soft. Well, am you gonna do it? The Prime Minister said. Says Enoch, I'll dig off Beachy Head, but I won't have to dig too fair, he cried, 'cause our kids are digging from the other side. Them who's heard on it all loft, but old Enoch bass a soft. Yes, them who's heard on it all loft, but old Enoch bass a soft. Well, Enoch, I'm talking in a riddle. What if you miss him in the middle? Well, Enoch says, kid, you're easy on. You'll have 2 tunnels instead of 1. Well, them who's heard on it all up, but old Enoch bass a soft. Sing, them who's heard on it all up, but old Enoch bass a soft.
Jon Raven, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. Very good. I was a bit interested when he said about putting the pig on the wall at Gornal. He says it was slight on Gornal folks. I think it shows what intelligent pigs they've been down there, don't you? But have you noticed the different sorts of humour? Some folks never laugh. I've got a bloke lives by me. The last time he laughed, he struck a flock of starlings off Dudley Castle. And as long as time there's been long faces. You'll notice them round the different places. If some sit the clock, they'd have a shock when it's looking like a fountain yock. There's some who really made the pile. It'd crack the face just to smile, just think about it, you needn't scoff. A real good laugh would see 'em off. In some big places, them little tin gods, you might just get a couple of nods. And if you smile at them, they think you're queer. So they just pretend as you're there. Well, now some zombie faces make you sick. Them as cheerful as a long wet week. The traffic wardens and the post office folks are the types for cracking jokes. And chemists folks are much the same. Tramps they start a laughing game. And the barbers can't afford to smile with long earrings passing all the while. Lots must find life a daily drudge. They just can't get the face to budge. Now we know life's hard in plenty cases, but they don't all show it on the faces. Smile covers heartaches, though it our kid. Lights a place up where it's good. A smile costs nothing. There's nothing to pay, and it could just make somebody's day. Thank you. Somebody's day. When you walk around the markets and you see all these different sorts of folks, you can hear all the different accents, you know, like Dolly and Tommy Mundon and they got males I went out, Brian's from Netherton. I'm a tipping bloke, and you hear these different local accents in such a small area. It's marvellous, really. And about how we speak is in the news. I bet you'll hear all sorts of views. Now some reckon we accents due to the grime, which goes down with wazzins most of the time. And a lot call way up the way we're talking, but you'll keep your ears open when you're walking any place with black country folk in, and you'll hear these words, and I be joking. We don't say do not, we just say do. That's the truth, but perhaps you'll know. Going is going, and come is come. If you're going home, you're going home. Where you been? is where have you been? I trust you with it and see what I mean. Or it's easier, kid, to get in a mess, because it ain't simple, you must confess. Don't give in. That's doggy way. There's just a bit more I'd like to say about words that we use every day. You use your heads, that's the key. Teachers at school and teachers at school. Study a bit if you doze early, you can prove it yourself, you'll take a vote. Nobody speaks English the way it's wrote. So don't get flabbergasted, that's simply confused. I've quoted but few of our words that are used. With accentuation there are positively more. We are the wool with what we short or we call. You'll get out and about, you'll listen and see. I'd hazard a guess then that most would agree. Our kid, it would be a real crying shame. Black country folks did all speak the same. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you. Very sadly, the time's gone on. You've got that great comedian to come on now to wind up the show. Better than Tommy Mundon. Tommy, come on, Tom, lad.
I notice how they always put me on bloody last, and everybody's going home. Have you noticed? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like you to sort of laugh quick, because I ain't got much time, you know, laugh and then stop, you know. But I must say, it is very nice to see so many folks here, because I do think folks are getting away from the telly a little bit now. I'm getting a little bit fed up about Steve Austin, eh? They are the $6 million man. Mind you, with a name like Austin, it makes you wonder how he got put to blood together, don't it? I don't ever thought about it. But you see, old Steve has got a certain advantage, chaps, over us, because I don't know if they have the same problem as me, but you've only sort of set foot outside there, so you watch him. I'm going out again, are you? Well, if you're Steve Austin, you can screw it up and say, you play with this and I'll come back. But I mean, it's the thing, that way. Go on, have a go, take now, bloody now, just keep quiet. Now, as a matter of fact, I've had a sort of request, one or two requests tonight. I only thought singers had requests, vocalists, but I've had a request tonight to do a little, well, it's a true story, actually, because about 6 months ago, you know, we had some new neighbours move in. And I must explain that me and the wife are very, very nosy. We always have our meals. Well, yeah, you can tell, can't you? And we're that nosy that we always have our meals in the bay window so that we see everything that's going on, you see. So we were sitting there having our Saturday afternoon dinner, and this big furniture van went by, and Val says, Thomas, it looks like some new neighbours are moving, and he says, go and give them a lift of the furniture, see what you can find out about them, see. Because I have to fire all the bloody bullets, see, I have to do all that. So anyway, round I goes, and I bangs on the door, and a rather nice young lady come to the door, and I says, good afternoon, madam, I'm your new neighbour. And I've come round to see if you'd like to live with your furniture. Oh, so that is kind. He says, come on in. I says, my husband's just slipped down the road. He'll be in a minute. He's how he now walks. Has a good look at the floor and the ceiling and the walls, you know, see if they got a better place than what we'd got. Because that was the idea behind it, see. Well, I don't know, however, I'd missed it because they managed to drag a long settee into the living room. And sat on this settee was 9 little chaps all looking at me. As much as to say, oh, I hope I'm as nice looking as him when I grow up. You can sense it, can't you? You know. Well, if I don't say it, nobody bloody else will say it, so I'm going to say it. Anyway, I love kids, you know. I always think this about kids. You sort of spend the first 2 years letting them have to walk and talk, and the rest of your life telling them to bloody sit down and shut up, don't you? You know? But, that's right, eh, with kids. Well, anyway, seeing these 9 little chaps looking there, I call this one little chap over to me. I said, what's your name, chap? Oh, he said, my name's Willie. I said, now, there's a coincidence. My second name's William. Here's a new 10-pence piece. So I give him this money and send it back to his side, and I call his little brother over. And I said, what's your name? Oh, he said, my name's Willie. I said, I think you're a bit of a lying toad, I said. Because your brother's name, Willie, see? And at that, his mother says, oh, it's perfectly true, Mr. Mundon. She says, as a matter of fact, I've christened them all, Willie, the lot. And I said, well, this must get a bit complicated for you. As well, I said, my husband likes it, and I don't argue with him. I said, do you want a cup of tea before we start moving the furniture? So I me a cup of tea and cook me a bit of cake, you know, that I do, you know. I think it was angel cake, it kept flying off the bloody plane, but... Anyway, I was just going to have a big bite of this cake, big omelette of cake, you know. And all of a sudden I heard the door bang behind me. Bang it went, and in walked her husband. A great big paling bloke. With a great big nose like Oliver Cromwell, with a big wart on the end on its head. And I looked at him and I looked at his poor missus. I said, well, he's not to frighten anybody to bloody death. Yeah. So now he gives me the willies. But... Talking about that, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a younger brother. He ain't quite so attractive as me, but a little bit younger than me. And it was his birthday a few weeks ago, and I said to him, I said, what'd you like for your birthday? He said, well, I'd like something for my bottom drawer. So I bought a Narbus, never had one on. I don't throw me money about, you know. Because apparently he's going to get married. He don't tell us bugger all, you know, but apparently he's going to get married. And this young lady said to him, I said, well, I don't know why you're marrying me. I said, I've a very nice look. And he said, well, don't worry about that. You'll be out of bloody work all day. I saw so much on you, I don't expect, you know. I said, shall we have a white wedding? He says, yes, if it snows. But, But he was a funny kid. When he was born, you know how Herbert was. Never smiled or anything, you know. Mother used to have to put a pork chop round his neck so the bloody dog would play with him, you know. Oh, he's a funny dog. And I always remember my mother's very short-sighted, you know, and used to talcum powder at the top of his head. Whatever he'd done with his dummy, we don't know to this day whatever he'd done with his dummy. And I mean, normally a baby, you know, will blossom out as they get older, but he got uglier. He did, he got bloody uglier. And when he was about 5, he was at the height of his ugliness when he was 5. And he was walking down the town one day with mother, and a bloke come over to my mother, and he said, well, missus, he said, I've been all over the world. He said, I've seen some ugly babies. He said, but I've never seen one like that young got with you. Well, of course, he's upset, mother, because he's a bit like her in features, you know, he follows her a bit in features. And says, come on, we will report him down house on police station. So I dragged him up to the sergeant's desk and said, Sergeant, I've just been insulted. He said, now calm yourself down, Mrs. Money, so I'll go make it a cup of tea. And you haven't noticed our kid, so I'll see if I can find a banana for the monkey. Just to finish up, because time's getting on, and I know you've either got to catch buses or one thing or another, but just before I finish, I love entertaining senior citizens. They don't call them Darby's and Jones, now they're senior citizens, we call them. And about a few weeks ago, I was sort of talking to these 3 Darbys, and they was telling me who they wanted to be buried with. See, these 3 old blokes. And the one bloke says, well, he says, I've always been a strong Labour man myself, he says. He said, I think I'd like to be buried with Narberry. I said, should you? He says, yes, I should. And the second one said, well, he said, I've always been a Liberal man. He said, I think I'd like to be buried with W.E. Gladstone. I said, should you? He says, yes, I should. Well, the third one, he was just scratching his head. I don't think he was ready to go, you know, he was a pondering a bit, you know. Well, he said, I've been thinking about it. He said, I think I'd like to be buried with Diana Dawes. I said, you bloody fool, all right, Jet. He said, no, I Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, time to finish, awfully vexed, but I must leave you all with a bit of Hale's Owen philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Never put off until tomorrow what you can do today, because if you like it, you'll know what to do again tomorrow. Thanks for listening, and have a safe journey home. God bless you. Thank you very much.